Hey y'all, I told y'all. I done told y'all. Yeah, I ain't believe me. Yeah, I ain't believe me. And I said here and hold on. Oh, try to get myself together. I just came from the gym, you know what I'm saying? I just I just came from the gym, so you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking like yeah. I just came. Oh, oh, hold up. Let me show y'all what I'm let me show y'all what I'm working with. I done came from the gym, you know what I'm saying? I done came from the I done came from the gym, so I've been working out and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I got a little you know, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? I've been working out at the gym. I was working out in the gym, child. They talking about some, ooh, charges drop. I was saying, oh, mm, mm. I told y'all. I done told y'all. I done told y'all already. So, I don't know why people mad. I don't know why y'all mad, cause we been told y'all these things, which I ain't wanna believe. I think it's good now, y'all. Is it? Is it good? Okay. Okay. Now, so like I was saying, the charges has been dropped on Jessie Smollett, and I have, mentioned on TMZ how I felt about the situation. They wanted my input, and I talked about it. Um, let's see if I can. Let me see. I think I could bring it up on here. I talked about the situation before on TMZ. Here it is.
That's where we stand. As far as Jesse's injuries, the only thing we've seen at this point is this photo that Lee Daniels had posted. They were having a FaceTime conversation. You can see his scar on his face. Face looks swollen. Yeah. Do we also know that he went to the hospital, right? That photo. He was treated for injuries. So and a broken rib. And a broken rib. Right. So in some kind of way, he got hurt. Despite what is ugly, something happened to Jessie Smollett. I believe Jessie Smollett 100%. And I do believe that investigation will, prove what he says to be true. But we do know, at least for people asking whether or not anything actually happened to him, for people who are skeptical, something happened to Jessie Smollett that night. Yeah, he got hurt. Yeah, he got hurt. And he went to the hospital. Believe 1,000%. Yeah, and so, the cops they're trying to find this video because that is a huge part of this thing. If they can find these assailants and if they can find people, fleeing the scene or whatever. Right. But they did say, again, one lead based on video they've got. But other than that, they are pursuing video. Now, there's been a lot of reaction to this. Yes, including from Steve Harvey, who wanted to throw, and I think did throw, some very strong support behind Jessie Smollett. Here's how Steve says he feels about what happened to Jessie. I just want to say this to little brother Jessie, that as a black man in this country, that I'm down with you. And I know a lot of brothers that's down with you. This ain't about sexual preference or nothing. This is about coming to the aid of another brother that has tasted the brutality of hatred, racism, and bigotry. So we down with you, Jessie Smollett. However you want to handle this, we down with you. This is not a call for violence or anything, so don't misunderstand. I just don't have all the where's everybody else? We down with you, soldier. I mean, he's very passionate and makes a good case. The one thing I would beg to differ on is sexual preference. It is not about sexual preference. Yes, it is. I think Jesse would absolutely say it is based on what he says. These men yelled at him, homophobic slurs and racial slurs, but it is based on what Jesse is saying, it is absolutely about sexual preference. And then there was Brian Grazer and Ron Howard. Now, remember, their company, Imagine, produces Empire. So certainly Brian Grazer, who's an executive producer on the show, knows Jesse. And here's what they said about the attack. Brian is trying to be restrained about it, and lo and behold, Ron Howard of all people, he's not usually this outspoken, is the one who just said it like it is. The worst thing possible. There's nothing worse than that. Personally, gigantically talented and authentic artist. He's a giver, not a taker, and this is like a hate crime. And I'm trying not to cuss because it's the worst thing that's possible. The worst thing is infuriating. Absolutely. So I think that is so compelling. I mean, it's so compelling. Ron Howard's one of the one who just says, you know what? One of Hollywood's poster boy nice guys. Yes, that tells you. But that tells you though just how emotionally involved people are into this. Yeah. Not just because of the nature of the crime, but because who Jesse is. Yeah. Jesse's always a nice guy, always a dude that's willing to put his neck out there for people, and so it's just really, really hard for a lot of people to wrap their mind around why this would happen. Even Opie has to say. And I would say it too, and I agree with everything that said. But anybody, I mean, Matthew Shepard, it could be anybody. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a famous person. It doesn't have to be a non-famous person to do this to anybody because of their race, because of their sexual orientation, and to do something like that, based on the scenario. I mean, yeah.
Hi, I'm Janae Wright, and I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. And basically, I feel that it's very imperative to have security. Number one, you are a celebrity. And number two, you're a black male on a famous Empire show. So everybody's looking, everybody's watching, and people know you. So I feel that it's easy to be targeted being a black male as a celebrity. People are looking at you. So if you have all this going on, I feel that maybe if he has security, this may not happen. But why is it so important now that it's a problem? Is it because homophobia and racism is together now? Everybody is making it a big deal when this been going on. Homophobia been going on, but now all of a sudden it's a big problem now because of racism. So we have to think about that as well.
Yeah, maybe, Janae, this is what you were referring to, that we found out that Jesse had turned down an offer for round-the-clock security before the attack based on the letter that was sent 9 days ago to Fox. But now he has other members of the Empire cast to have security. Okay, we're going to move on. Yes.
So that was that. But my thing was that they had all these allegations going on with Jessie Smollett and the stuff that was happening. And my thing was that, okay, you said that you know he was indicted, and being indicted, for the people that do not know, it's just you just see what did I put. He was indicted. He has 16 counts of being indicted. Okay, 16 counts. And for those that do not know what that entails, the indictment was for reasonable cause. And when you be indicted, that's just a reasonable cause saying that, what you did was suspicious and is a reasonable cause of committing a crime. What you did looked like it could be suspicious of committed a crime. The intentions, the motives that you had, and the content of the investigation of the story. That's where the indictment comes from. It looks reasonable that we could accuse you of a crime, but he's not proven, and until proven guilty, you pretty much can be indicted. Um, but he was never proven guilty. Was the thing. In his defense, he always made sure he showed up at court, even if he had to be there, just to maintain his innocence, and that's what he did. He continued to maintain his innocence. The only thing that it was pretty much the brothers versus Jesse. The brothers were the trainers. The trainers were involved in the situation because they accused Jesse, saying that they were paid to beat him up. And when they asked to show the proof of them being paid, they show the check, and the check simply has the money, the amount that was paid to them, and then they had training on the check. So how can I pay you to beat me up if I have training written out on the check? If I just want you to beat me up, I would have cashed app you the money. Um, that wasn't the case. So they wrote the check and they used that as that's what he did. And it's crazy because they were his trainers. And if they were his trainers and if he paid them, it said training on the check. So I can't accuse that he paid you to beat him up when the check simply says training and you happen to be his trainer. So, with that being said, they have all the evidence that they beat him up. The brothers beat him up, and that um, they got the evidence of them buying all the equipment to do it. The ski masks and everything. They have that proof. They have the proof that they did what they did. My thing is that they don't have any proof, hardcore evidence, proof facts that Jesse instructed them to beat them up. Because that's why we're in court, right? We're in court and we have all these, accusations and everything going on because we want to know that Jesse instructed them to beat them up. Okay, so we don't have any footage. We don't even have any cell phone records. We don't have any facts, evidence, receipts. And the thing is, when you're in the court of law and you do not have any facts, evidence, or receipts, case closed. Next case. We ain't got nothing to talk about because we could sit here and point fingers at each other. We could accuse each other all day. But if we do not have any facts, evidence, or receipts, case closed. Next case. We don't have anything saying that Jesse instructed the guys to do what he did. We don't have anything that's suspicious enough, that's hardcore evidence that says, I want you to come beat me up. Anything that says that shows that it was staged. Anything. They don't have not one drop. So 16 drops of indictment was closed, and it wasn't nothing else to talk about. So I told y'all, and my thing when I was talking on TMZ about the Jessie Smollett situation is, yes, if he would have had security, maybe this wouldn't have happened. And I felt like, he's a celebrity, not only a celebrity, but a black gay celebrity, not only a black gay celebrity, but on a famous Empire show and a black gay celebrity, you know, out here in the world, people know you, people gonna look at you, you are targeted already, and then to feel that it's okay to go in the middle of the night, somewhere is very risky and your safety is very important. So that's what I blame him on. That's why I fought him on because he should have been on his safety. And it was told that uh, he didn't want the the security. He turned down security, and right when he turned down the security, that's left the door open for the people to do what they did. And I feel bad that that happened, but also my thing was, why was it such a big deal? Why was it such a big deal to the world? Why was it such a big deal to everybody? Was it because he was a celebrity? Is that why? Because homophobia always go on. Homophobia goes on every day. People deal with homophobia on a day-to-day basis, and nobody talks about that shit. So I just want to know, why was it so important that? And then they had all types of celebrities talking about it, and it was, what I'm saying? It was a huge problem. Like the world stopped. I mean, I remember we was talking about the wall, you know, the Trump walls and shit, but everybody, and the government shutting down, and who gives a fuck about that? Let's talk about Jessie. We was talking about that, and I was just like, why was it so important that everybody stopped and dealt with that? Oh, because when he said that they do bleach on him, and then they put a rope around his neck, and tried to hang him and shit, it became a racial problem. Oh, okay. So the reason why we got not only the straight the LGBT community up and we also got the straight community, the heterosexual audience, the celebrities, and the news teams and everybody involved in this, because not only that is he it was because he was gay, because it was because he was gay first. Not only because he was gay, but he's black, and he got not only homophobic slurs, but racial slurs. So now, oh my gosh, I didn't know gay people go through this. I didn't know gay people get bashed for being black. I didn't know gay people get beat for being gay. I didn't know this. I knew it, but I didn't know that. So now, even though it was unfortunate to Jesse, I'm kind of happy that it portrayed and played out this way. So now people can pretty much see what does happen to people in the LGBT community, people that are gay and black, or trans and black, you know, um, especially for the gay black males, especially for the transgender black women. Um, these things happen, especially for the trans black men. These things happen. People get targeted. People in the LGBT get targeted for just simply being who they are, and then being black on top of that. It doesn't even help, and for everybody to finally see, like, thank God he lived through it. You know what I'm saying? We had some people that died from homophobia, people that didn't like gay people. They killed them. They shot them. They stabbed them. They murdered them, and nobody didn't give a shit. These people is in trenches and in gullies and you know in trash piles and dumpsters, and you just see their body just laying there, and you don't hear the newscasters breaking news. We had a young teen that was gay and got murdered, or a trans woman that got murdered. You don't hear that shit. Nobody gives a fuck. So why was it so important that Jesse's situation was so like, oh my gosh? Because if he was just black, or if he was just gay, would have been a problem if he was just gay, and if he wasn't a celebrity. Would it matter? Mm. So it was because he was a celebrity, and because it was a racial problem. That's the only reason why this blew up is the way that it did. And then it was like, oh my gosh, he's gay too. I didn't know gay people go through that. So that's why I believe it blew up the way that it did. I feel that it wouldn't have if it wasn't for that. But I am happy that people got to pretty much see how people treat people in the LGBT, how they treat gay black men, how they treat transgender black women, how they treat trans men that are also black, how they treat these people, you know, and nobody says anything. We need justice. And the cases were dropped because there were no hardcore evidence that was going to prove him guilty. However, I do feel people will now have an open eye for when things happen like this. It's serious. It's serious. It's serious. Because these things do happen. People lose their life. People die. Especially with trans women, people die. And all a man gonna say is, "Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know." So I'm just saying, but it is what it is. But that's all I wanted to talk to y'all today about. If you have any questions, concerns, you know, comment, let me know y'all feedback. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Right?